you got going on?
Turn this light.
Okay.
Roll tape. I can.
Oh,
edit or
okay.
whatever.
So what's up? You got a project you're working on?
So about was it 2 weeks ago? I guess 2 weeks ago I picked up a '78 Triumph Bonneville, 1978 Bonneville, and it was kind of rough, but been slowly fixing it back up. I bought it from a guy in Tacoma who seemed like a crackhead kind of dude. Went out there, saw it on Craigslist, went out there on a whim. There wasn't a picture on Craigslist for the bike. The description looked pretty, what's the word? Kind of sketchy, I guess.
Yeah.
So went out there, and I just knew something was up with this bike. I called the guy first, and I started asking him questions about the bike, and he was like, "Oh yeah, it's all there. Oh, it's stock. It runs great. Kind of like, had an answer for everything." I'm like, okay, this is worth checking out just because I think this guy's needing some money. He is living in Tacoma, so good chance he was on something. So we drove out to Tacoma, me and Tom Pia, that is, and we went out there and checked out the bike. As we were coming up to we found the house out there and just south of the Tacoma Dome. We come up the street, and we had to do that U-turn, pull up, walk up to the porch, and the bike is in the inside of the house in the living room. Like it's like these bay windows, and the bike's sitting there in the living room, and it's the tank's like fresh paint on it. It's like nice. The bike's completely lowered. Looks like someone's been, this guy, obviously someone was keeping this bike pretty nice and set it up, as a lowrider, and but it was all stock. Everything was there. It was just slammed. And anyways, so after some checking out the bike and talking with the dude, turns out it wasn't his bike, but it was his brother-in-law's, I think, that he got from his wife, and the guy's getting divorced. I forget what was his name, Dwayne, I guess. He was getting divorced.
You tell me everything.
He was getting divorced. Oh, it's a funny story, I think.
I think it is too.
But the guy's like getting divorced. He got it signed over a year before that from his wife, the bike or something, because his brother-in-law owed him money and this and that. So anyways, so he's selling the bike, and he needs the money now. And he was asking $2,500 for it. So I jumped all over it just because.
Jumped on him.
jumped on him. I jumped on it. Because obviously it was, if someone would have came up there with some cash, he would have probably sold it immediately because he obviously needed the money. So anyway, so we scored on the bike, and Tom almost scored on some chick. What was that chick's name? Oh my God.
Mila.
So as we're there checking out the bike, some of his friends start showing up, and they're like kind of like sketched out Tacoma, just like meth heads or whatever they were, alcoholic meth heads,
zombies,
pot smoking, just definitely a crowd you don't want to hang around too much, I guess. But so that chick's hitting on Tom. Let me get your number. What was she saying?
Yeah,
we should go out and have a drink or something. Well,
she wanted to get my number. She definitely likes bikes and dudes.
She definitely liked you. Let's just say I don't think she had all her teeth.
No, she had all her teeth.
Did she?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They
were kind of bucked, but yeah.
She was 60 or 50 something?
She said she was 50, I think.
50? And
Kind
so,
of looked like she was 60 though,
anyways,
but with a good body.
it wasn't like she was like flirting with you. She was just like straight up like,
Here's my number.
I'd take care of you and all this shit. Like, you give me a ride on the bike and I'll sit the other way, wasn't she saying?
Oh my gosh.
So let's just say the whole ordeal was a trip. It was quite entertaining. Yeah, it's something I won't forget, but every time I ride this bike now, I'll think of all that crazy shit, so. Anyway, so
Check
let's
out
look
the
at the bike, yeah. So right now I've got it pulled apart. It was complete when I got it, but I've pulled it apart because I'm working on the polishing up the motor, and I'm gonna do some wiring things. But as you can see, it is lowered. It's got the it's not straight exhaust, but it has it sounds almost straight exhaust. The bike I had before this was a '69 Triumph TR6, which was a single carb. This is a dual carb Bonneville. This also has disc brakes, which front and back, which I'm not used to. My chopper that I had before this was only drum in the rear. I pulled the front brake. What else?
Tail lights and everything.
Yeah, I've been switching out the lights, switched out the turn signals,
Switched out
tail
the
light,
Different tail light.
tail light.
Way smaller.
Let me grab a stock shot so you
Here's
can
the
see.
there's the blinkers, the back blinkers.
And also over here, if you look, the front ones are all really small.
Here's the
too.
tail light that was on it.
Good shot of that.
That was there. I
Let's see the
switched out
tail
to the
light.
smaller one.
Yeah, look at that big old honker.
And this is the turn signals that was on. I switched out these smaller, more low
Let's see the turn
profile.
signals. Oh yeah, these are huge.
And then this is stock height shot.
Stock has shock and it's got lower shock.
So that's how much it's
Oh
lower.
man, yeah, that's big.
So it's quite a bit lower. Anyways,
Sick handlebars too.
we will get shots of it when it's all done. But this is also a 750. I had a 650 on my chopper.
Get in there, see
This is 750. And it's also 755 speed, which my chopper was a 4-speed. So I rode it before I pulled it apart, and let's just say it does have a lot more power than a 650. It has some serious pull, and that 5th gear is nice too when you're cruising. You can, although you're going pretty fast by 4th gear. I don't know how fast I was going, but I didn't want to push it too hard, so I needed to pull it apart and do some things. But I've got the side covers off. This here is the transmission. This is the gears coming off the pistons. Up here I pulled the rocker boxes. I'm going to sand this down, paint it silver. I'm going to repaint this black, all high temp. And I can show you these side cases that I've polished up and kind of how I do that.
Yeah, let's check that out too.
Over here is the clutch side. So I pulled that case off too. And I'm going to, well actually I have all that already polished. This is your alternator, Lucas alternator on there.
Oh nice. I didn't know there was a chain there. That's cool.
So anyways,
Every day.
Let's check out the
yeah, come on here.
casings.
This is cool. Let's check out the tank first.
Oh yeah.
This is the original tank. There. It's all dusty right now, but the guy had it repainted.
All repainted.
And I noticed on the paperwork, it was $650 paint job, which it is really nice paint job. Need to clean it up, but I noticed on the paperwork it was an insurance job that paid for it, so I don't know how the dude pulled that off, but I'm sure it was some shady shit on that, but that's alright, because I'll definitely take advantage of a nice tank. Here's the seat that I'm working on.
Cut custom made on that.
Yep. You'll see that when it's on the bike. Here's the side covers that I'm going to be repainting. I need to glue them up. I'm going to sand them down and get them reshot so they look like the tank. And let's go over here and look at the side cases. Here's a stock Triumph side case. It's got dust on it, but so this did not look like this when it started. So this was all dull before I polished it up.
Lights at that percent.
This I'm gonna put a new Triumph engine badge on there. Kickstart. This is where the kickstart right here. That one's pretty clean. It's getting there. Rocker boxes. This is where you adjust the valves here. These cases. There, so. And the carbs, dual carbs.
Tina, can you get that?
So anyways, so the tank is sitting, this is a 1927 Model T body here, Ford Model T. It's a coupe, which means it's a two-door with a trunk. And that's the frame over here for the 27 and the motor. This is what me and Jim are restoring this. This is something him and his dad bought back years ago, back in I think the 70s they bought it, and hasn't been restored since. And so we're working on that. We're gonna have it sandblasted here this summer. And those are all the parts, all the wheels and the gas tank. Some of the up on top, some of the fenders. It's all original, 1927. Cool. So, anyways, I'm gonna polish that. Let's see.
We gotta polish something up.
Let's how to work on this a little bit. I'll show you how this. So everything's already polished, but I can show you how to do it. So pretty much these buffer wheels on here, this is like aluminum compound. Good use. Just add that on there. Gives it like just a polisher, basically. You run it over the parts, the aluminum that needs polish. You can see that. You can see the finish there, the difference. And it's pretty boring, meticulous work, but when you're all done, you got a nice shiny motor that everybody looks at and says, wow, nice bike. And all that shit. So you start with that one. This is a harder wheel here, and that one takes off most of the, like I guess it'd be stain or debris on there. And then you use a softer wheel to like put a final shine here. I said, I already did this, so it's pretty well done, but so then what I do afterwards is I take some of this Mother's aluminum polish. This is really good aluminum polish, and because there'll be a little bit of like black, just I guess it's like a grease kind of left on here afterwards, and this just kind of takes that off. You can see all the black there that's left from the wheel. The wheel doesn't really clean it, it just polishes it. But then afterwards you can clean it up and then with that Mother's. That's pretty much it.
Ammo.
So there's that. Any questions?
Where do you live at? I'm just kidding. We'll get that. I'm recording. Yeah. Start it? Sure.